everyone, and welcome. You're watching Eagle News America. I'm Ken Cruz, coming to you from Fort Washington, Maryland. Tonight we have reports from several of our correspondents across North and South America. Jenica Era Peralta in Medellin reports about Colombia extending quarantine until August the 1st. DJ Gonzalez in Alexandria, Virginia.
No shirt, no shoes, no mask, no service in Virginia. Governor Ralph Northam urges businesses to take action.
Aaron Abben in Gaithersburg, Maryland.
Governor Hogan urges local leaders to enforce safety precautions in restaurants as positive trends continue in Maryland.
Mayan Manzana Guarzon in Sicklerville, New Jersey.
New Jersey updates quarantine travel advisory now issued to 22 states.
Marla Simbulan in Swarthmore, Pennsylvania.
Department of Health Secretary Dr. Rachel Levine warns Pennsylvanians of dangers of not protecting against COVID-19.
Jessica Cedro in Houston, Texas.
Texas extends federal support to community testing sites through July 31st, and City of Houston helps residents beat the heat.
Mike Hudson in Everett, Washington reports about the trial COVID-19 vaccine showing progress in Seattle. Julian Fiesta in Delano, California.
LA County marks the highest number of new cases and hospitalizations in one day since the start of the pandemic.
Plus, tonight we'll talk about some very appealing online courses. But first, an overview of how the world looks now. According to the Coronavirus Resource Center of Johns Hopkins University and Medicine, as of 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Tuesday, July 14th, 2020, the number of cases of COVID-19 reported worldwide is now more than 13,200,000. This includes more than 3,400,000 in the U.S. Sadly, this virus has claimed more than 575,000 lives worldwide. This number includes more than 136,000 deaths in the U.S. Our coverage begins now. The Pan American Health Organization, or PAHO, seeks that the most vulnerable countries in Latin America can access a vaccine against COVID-19 on a subsidized basis, as the region concentrates 60% of new cases. Take a look.
PAHO is also coordinated with Gavi and other partners to guarantee that the most vulnerable countries in our region receive the vaccine against COVID-19 in a subsidized manner and at an affordable price. This will enable countries, regardless of their income level, to secure better prices and assume less risk than if they negotiate individually. No country should do this alone, especially since we improve our chances of success and reduce competition if we work together. The most vulnerable populations have been hit the hardest. In Brazil, for instance, indigenous communities along the Amazon basin are seeing incidence rates more than 5 times the national average. It is critical that we work today to ensure equal access to these life-saving tools when they become available, and that we develop a strategy for delivering them quickly and safely.
Meanwhile, at the Faculty of Health Sciences and University of Witwatersrand in South Africa, 6 senior clinicians volunteered to participate in South Africa's first COVID-19 vaccine trial. The trial aims to find a vaccine that will prevent infection by SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID-19. Aslam Dasu, doctor and member of the Progressive Health Forum, says that the vaccine trial is something to be supported and encouraged.
Have the benefit if the vaccine works, and if I get the vaccine shot instead of the placebo, I'll be protected. So there's a number of reasons, but mostly to demonstrate that this is something that should be supported and encouraged, and that no one need be afraid of it. There has been some concern, among the lay public, but as a doctor, I'll tell you, this is nothing to be afraid of.
Here in the U.S., a book written by Donald Trump's niece, who is a clinical psychologist, hit bookstores today. Reader Barbara Mulder says the book is very well written. Take a look.
Psychopath, which is kind of the worst of the worst, sociopath. So it's because of her family perspective, and also because the reviews and excerpts I've read say it's very well written. I think it is clear that Donald Trump is unqualified, incompetent, and a total menace, and unfortunately there seems to be a group of my countrymen who support him no matter what. But I hope it will motivate people to go out and vote, which is what we need to do in November, and vote him out.
Colombia extends its quarantine until August the 1st. Janica Ero Peralta in Medellin has the details.
As the number of cases in Colombia reached 154,277 in total, quarantine was declared to be extended until August 1st. The only twist now is that it has 44 exceptions to lighten the weight of isolation on Colombians. The Colombian government has published through the State of Regulatory Portal Decree 990 as of June 9, 2020, approving the mandatory extension to preventive isolation with an additional 15 days. This starts from July 16 to August 1 and claims new permits during quarantine. These conditions are divided according to the classification of each municipality. Either it is non-COVID, zero active cases, low involvement, or high to medium involvement with the coronavirus. In the country, there are around 900 municipalities, 82% of the national territory, that are non-COVID or low involvement. The Minister of Commerce, Industry and Tourism, Jose Manuel Restrepo, said, quote, "The non-COVID or low-impact municipalities with the obligatory compliance of the biosafety protocols can apply for a gradual opening and implementation of pilots in the sectors that complement the tourism sector, such as restaurants, zoos, or theme parks. In the case of the municipalities with high or medium status of cases, the mayors also have the possibility of activating pilots for restaurants with table service, thus following the path towards reactivation. Public vehicle parking lots, museums, and libraries, gyms, restaurants, and hairdressing services may also start operations." Restrepo said, "Life must be taken into account as a first concern and guaranteeing it through strict compliance with biosafety protocols. Simultaneously, with this new decree, we show our commitment to the protection of at least 1 million jobs and the survival of more than 120,000 companies in our country." One of the most anticipated exceptions the government has for quarantine is for citizens ages 70 and above may be able to exercise outside for maximum 2 hours daily. Meanwhile, in the Valle de Aburrá metropolitan area, Pico y Cédula seems to be more strict. From allowing 5 numbers of the last digits of their ID or passport to go outside each day, they have minimized it to only 2 numbers a day. In Medellin, Colombia, Janica Ero Peralta, Eagle News, vivimos en tiempos interesantes.
Thanks, Janica. When we come back, more reports from our correspondents across from the U.S. Stay with us. This is Eagle News America.
This weekend, tara na't mamangha sa galing at talento ng mga Pinoy sa iba't ibang sulok ng mundo.
It's now or never.
Abangan sila at mapawaw dito lang sa pinakamalawak na talent competition on Philippine TV and online. Ito ang Tagisan ng Galing.
Tagisan ng Galing is presented by SMC Infrastructure, building a better world. Sanmig sugar-free white coffee, puno ng white coffee taste without the sugar, kaya lower calories. Try mo na Sanmig sugar-free white coffee. Sarap ng white coffee, now sugar-free. Vet-approved Nutrichos, the only premium dog food with active boost for optimum energy and prebiotics that help strengthen immunity. Just like Catherine Bernardo, gawing listo ganado ang fur babies niyo. Listo ganado sa Nutrichos. Magnolia Chicken Templados, delicious, ready to cook and freshly marinated daily. Pure Foods Luncheon Meat, pure sarap for every family. Star Chunky Cheese Corned Beef, ang cheesy ng corned beef mo. Walang duda, kids can tell na #1 ang Pure Foods Tender Juicy. Ang tender, ang juicy, ang sarap. Co-presented by Cooper, expert in air conditioning and electromechanical. also engage in structural, electrical, fire protection, plumbing, and sanitary services. Cooper, your ultimate MEPS and air conditioning solutions. Unlad Incorporated International, fight against global poverty. New San Jose Builders Incorporated. Canrib Corporation, your ventilation and air conditioning specialist. Vita Herbs Philippines Green Coffee. Masarap, mabango, at healthy pa. Puerto Rico Resort and Convention Center, Cabiao, Nueva Ecija. I love Puerto Rico. In participation with Rain or Shine Elastomeric Waterproofing Paint, Matinco, R Square Variables Incorporated, Compizel Enterprises, Saisho International Trading Corporation, DN Steel, EMAC UPB Roof Corporation. East West Bank, your dream, our focus.
Hey, Gretchen Ho here, and I'm a white coffee lover. Creamy kasi, and very yummy. Pero mas masarap kung hindi nakaka-guilty. Check my new discovery, Sandmade Sugar-Free White Coffee. Puno ng white coffee taste without the sugar, kaya lower calories. Try mo na! Sandmade Sugar-Free White Coffee. Sarap ng white coffee, now sugar-free.
The successful development of TPLEX, or Tarlac Pangasinan La Union Expressway in 2009, a 4-lane toll road that extends from Tarlac City to Rosario La Union, with an additional approved extension of 56 kilometers all the way to San Juan La Union. This is expected to reduce travel time to Baguio and other provinces in northern Luzon. Realizing the vision of creating a better world for Filipinos fueled the team's focus.
Listo at ganado ang baby ko sa vet-approved Nutri-Chunks with active boost and prebiotics na pampalisto. Made with real meat, with essential nutrients to help them grow healthy and happy. Listo, ganado sa Nutri-Chunks.
Ikaw lang ang star ng buhay ko. Para sa akin, perfect ka. Ang cheesy ng corned beef mo. Pag Star Chunky Cheese Corned Beef, sarap ng corned beef, inangat pa ng real cheese cubes. Star Chunky Cheese Corned Beef.
That is the Eagle News America. I'm Ken Cruz in Fort Washington. No shirt, no shoes, no mask, no service. In Virginia, Governor Ralph Northam urges businesses to take action. EJ Gonzalez in Alexandria reports.
Thanks, Ken. Virginia Governor Ralph Northam today was happy to announce Virginia has, for the most part, been able to keep the numbers of new cases low and hasn't seen the spikes many other states are seeing. Virginia continues to conduct over 10,000 COVID tests a day and have seen a 6.8% positivity rate for the state. According to the Virginia Department of Health, the percentage of positivity cases in the Northern Virginia area, which holds about 2/3 of the state's population, has gone dramatically down, reaching 6.7%. However, in the Hampton Roads or eastern region of the state is where they are seeing the alarming numbers. Virginia Beach and the Hampton Roads area is a tourist hub for the state. The percent positivity rate in that region is at 10.1% and has been rising for a number of days. The governor mentioned many of those cases are driven by group socialization without the use of face masks. For the age group of 20 to 29, there's been a 250% increase in positive cases since June, just last month. With the increase in numbers for the Hampton Roads area, the governor is calling the attention of restaurant and business owners to strictly enforce the social distancing and face covering guidelines. Take a look.
If you own a restaurant or a business and you're not following the regulations, your license will be on the line, and we will not hesitate to take action if needed. I'm also calling on businesses to step up their own enforcement. If a patron of your establishment is violating the rules, you have the ability to say no. It's just like the signs in so many store windows that say no shirt, no shoes, no service. Now it should be no shirt, no shoes, no mask, no service.
Governor Northam also highlighted the unemployment numbers for Virginia. since March 15th, 938,559 Virginians have applied for unemployment benefits, and 91% of eligible claims are paid within 14 days. The Virginia Employment Commission has increased its staff by 550% and getting more than 60,000 calls per week. Many are going back to work, but there are thousands who do not have a job to go back to. The Virginia Employment Commission and Virginia Career Works will be holding a virtual hiring event on July 28th. There will be over 150 employers with jobs posted and available for this event. Registration and participation is simple and free and can be found on the VEC's website. Governor Northam also expects that the Department of Labor and Industry and the Safety and Health Codes Board to finalize the new labor standards to protect workers during the pandemic. Virginia is the first state in the nation to create such standards in this crisis. In Alexandria, Virginia, EJ Gonzalez, Eagle News. We live in interesting times. Back to you, Ken.
So EJ, you live in Northern Virginia area, Nova, right? So how do you feel the progress is over there in Nova?
Well, for us, it's great to hear from our governor that the VDH and the percent positivity rate for the Northern Virginia area has gone dramatically down. And I remember we were one of the regions who had a delay when it came to progressing to the next phase because our case count was really up there. But seeing the numbers today and taking into account that we're in phase 3, businesses are open again and running, and our case count continues to remain low compared to the earlier parts of the pandemic, I can honestly say that I'm happy with the numbers. Hopefully Virginians continue to practice those safety guidelines that the government is enforcing because it really seems to be working for the Northern Virginia area.
Sure. And then one of the, highly populated areas as far as places to go to eat and just hang out is Old Town Alexandria, right? So yeah. How's that area doing right now? And what are the people doing there as far as social distancing? Are they practicing it? Or are you seeing more so, just people going about as if there is a pandemic?
Yeah, so Old Town is part of the Northern Virginia area, so they're in the bounds of saying that we are dramatically still lowering the numbers here in the Northern Virginia area. While I was out recently, I've seen a lot of people being more social and gathering outside, eating at restaurants, but they are all wearing masks for the most part. But the servers are definitely protecting their faces. And the governor is actually calling the attention of those restaurants to stop serving drinks so late at night so that people can stop hanging out so late and get back home in order to stop the spread of the virus.
Well, it sounds like Nova and Virginia are doing a good job. Thumbs up.
Yep.
Thanks so much, EJ.
Thanks, Ken.
Maryland Governor Larry Hogan urges local leaders to enforce safety precautions in restaurants as positive trends continue. In Gaithersburg, Aaron Abin reports.
Thank you, Ken. Today, Governor Larry Hogan sent a letter directed to county leaders around the state of Maryland with a simple message. Enforce the safety directives from the Maryland Department of Health, or the state will be forced to once again close restaurants. For the past few months, there have been positive trends in the diagnosis and treatment of COVID-19 in Maryland. Only last Saturday, there were a record-breaking 21,140 tests administered within 24 hours. Other important metrics, such as statewide positivity rate and the number of testing sites, are also promising. Statewide, the 7-day average positivity rate is currently 4.64%, and the number of testing sites numbers over 220. However, one troubling trend is the spike in infections among Maryland residents 35 and younger, which is 84% higher than the positivity rate for residents older than 35. According to the governor's letter, a significant amount of these recent cases are the result of refusing to follow the public health guidelines set by both the CDC and the state. The guidelines issued on the June 10th executive order include bars and restaurants being open for seated service only with physical distancing and capacity restrictions. All staff must wear a face covering while working and interacting with customers. And for facilities with booths, every other booth must be closed. Finally, no more than 6 people may sit at a single table. The governor urges local governments to create consequences for flagrant violations, ranging anywhere from fines to restaurant closures. Governor Hogan reminds local leaders that it is their responsibility to uphold the rules set in place in order to ensure the continuing trend of Maryland recovery. Other organizations such as the Maryland Department of Health and the Maryland State Police continue to remind individual residents of their own responsibility to maintain proper hygiene and to wear face masks to reduce the spread of COVID-19. As Governor Hogan states at the end of his letter, and I quote, Maryland's continued economic health and recovery depend on the active and aggressive local enforcement of these critical public health measures. In Gaithersburg, Maryland, Aaron Ogden, Eagle News. We live in interesting times. Back to you, Ken.
Thanks, Aaron. So have you and your family actually tried eating out as the restrictions have eased here in Maryland?
Not exactly. My family likes to eat a lot of homemade food, and the one time that we did eat out was actually in Virginia because we had a vacation in Virginia Beach a couple of weeks ago. So no, we're staying home for now, waiting for things to settle down before we actually decide to eat out a lot more.
Interesting. So you guys went to Virginia Beach. What was the biggest difference from this time that your family went versus any other time in the past?
This time there were a lot more younger people. I didn't see a lot of old people around. I'm guessing that's because a lot of younger people are more confident of going out and risking getting sick. There were also a lot less people in general, but that makes sense.
Gotcha. Hopefully old people doesn't mean people my age. I'm just kidding. Thank you so much, Aaron. New Jersey updates quarantine travel advisory now issued to 22 states. In Sipperville, Mayan Manzano Guarzon has the detail.
Thank you, Ken. Governor Murphy advised individuals traveling to New Jersey from additional states with significant community spread of COVID-19 to quarantine for a 14-day period from the time of last contact within the identified state. The updated advisory includes 4 additional states, Minnesota, New Mexico, Ohio, and Wisconsin, with Delaware removed from the list. The travel advisory applies to any person arriving from a state with a positive test rate higher than 10 per 100,000 residents, or a state with a 10% or higher positivity rate over a 7-day rolling average. As of Tuesday, July 14th, there are currently 22 states total that meet the criteria stated above: Alabama, Arkansas, Arizona, California, Florida, Georgia, Iowa, Idaho, Kansas, Louisiana, Minnesota, Mississippi, North Carolina, New Mexico, Nevada, Ohio, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, and Wisconsin. Governor Murphy said, quote, "We must remain vigilant and committed to our collective effort of beating COVID-19 and reducing the rate of transmission throughout New Jersey. In order to continue moving forward with New Jersey's restart and recovery process, I strongly urge individuals arriving from these 22 states to self-quarantine and proactively get a COVID-19 test to prevent hotspots from flaring up across our state. Travelers and those residents who are returning from impacted states should self-quarantine at their home, hotel, or other temporary lodging. Individuals should leave the place of self-quarantine only to seek medical care or treatment or to obtain food and other essential items. It is expected that individuals will follow the public health advisory to self-quarantine. The list of states will be updated on a rolling basis. Meanwhile, here is today's statistical report of New Jersey's COVID-19 cases. According to the Department of Health of New Jersey, there is 423 new positive cases reported today, bringing a statewide total of 175,000 915 New Jerseyans tested positive. Sadly, we have 28 new deaths, adding to a total of 13,635 statewide fatalities. New Jersey is currently on stage 2 of its road to recovery. And for some weather update, it's currently cloudy here in Stickerville, New Jersey at 85 degrees Fahrenheit or 25 degrees Celsius. Earlier today, it was sunny with clear skies and the high was forecast as 85 degrees Fahrenheit or 30 degrees Celsius. In Stickerville, New Jersey, May and Manzano Garzon, Eagle News, we live in interesting times. Back to you, Ken.
So, Mayan, that's 22 states, which is a pretty solid number, almost half. What are the ways that New Jersey is going to enforce this quarantine travel advisory?
Ken, our state officials say that compliance is expected, but the self-quarantine is, just voluntarily. The governor even stated that there will be no fining people, but they are aggressively pursuing public relations and literally begging people for personal responsibility. Ken?
Interesting. So it's more so saying, don't go here, but if you do, we're not going to fine you. Is that correct?
Well, just be responsible. No.
All right. Well, I mean, at least it's saying something versus nothing, right? This is a precautionary step. So that's, I guess, a responsible thing that New Jersey's doing.
Agree, Ken.
Good job, New Jersey. Thank you so much, man. Coming up, more updates from our correspondents. Stay with us. This is Eagle News America.
Ein sonniger Tag heute hier in Berlin vor dem Bundestag. Ich bin Irene Juliet Arzadon und möchte diese Gelegenheit nutzen, um ein paar Worte mit euch zu teilen. An alle Menschen da draußen. In dieser Zeit lasst uns nicht vergessen, den Menschen zu danken, die ihr Leben für uns opfern. Sei es die Menschen, die im Krankenhaus arbeiten, in den Altenheimen sowie in den Arztpraxen, aber auch an die Menschen, die im Lebensmittelhandel sich befinden. Die Kassierer. Manchmal reicht es aus, um ihnen ein freundliches Lächeln zu geben. Denn die Menschen, die heute am Arbeiten sind, weil sie nicht so wie einige von uns zu Hause bleiben können, die sollten wir wertschätzen. Ihnen sollten wir unseren Dank ausrichten. Darum lasst uns noch mehr zusammenhalten. Sie wertschätzen.
Welcome back. You're watching Eagle News America. I'm Ken Cruz in Fort Washington. The Department of Health Secretary, Dr. Rachel Levine, warns Pennsylvanians of the dangers of not protecting against COVID-19. In Swarthmore, Pennsylvania Bureau Chief Mila Sambulan reports.
Thanks, Ken. Here's the latest update of COVID-19 here in Pennsylvania. Yesterday, there's 861 new cases, which brings the statewide total of confirmed cases to 93,906. For this week alone, the average new positive cases per day are about 700. Recovery rate is about 77%, which means those people who are tested positive for COVID-19, 77% recovered. For this past week, there were 135,631 tests performed, and 5,560 were positive for COVID-19. There are currently 678 hospitalized, but only 91 patients are using ECMO or ECMO, and 41 patients on ventilators. Also, as travel advisory, if you travel to the 19 states that you see on the screen, it is recommended to be in quarantine for 14 days upon return. And this includes Delaware, our neighboring state. Since the numbers are slightly increasing for 28 counties, statewide the results are still good. But Department of Health Secretary Dr. Rachel Levine warns Pennsylvanians of the danger of not protecting against COVID-19. Let's watch.
At the start of the pandemic, we saw a higher number of cases right at the beginning in people ages 19 to 49 before it spread to seniors age 65 and older. This pattern is now repeating. The number of people over 65 who are positive for COVID-19 has gone down to about half our cases, while the number of cases in the 19 to 49 age bracket now accounts for 45% of our cases. Our experience from the beginning of the pandemic shows that the first cases rise in those younger individuals, some of whom did become quite sick, requiring hospitalization, and then went on to recover. Then COVID-19 spread quickly through the community, impacting congregate settings like nursing homes, where most of the most serious illnesses and deaths have occurred. This is the pattern that has been seen in other states as well. So there are things we can do right now to stop this cycle. First, please wear a mask when you're going out in public. If you are in a situation, whether you are considering whether or not you need a mask and you're thinking about it, then the answer is yes, wear a mask. Avoid situations where you could be exposing yourself to COVID-19. For example, if you feel uncomfortable with how close people are at, for instance, a restaurant where you might be dining, then make the choice to leave.
Dr. Levine also encouraged residents to make the choice and avoid situations where they could be exposing themselves to COVID-19. In Swarthmore, Pennsylvania, I'm Malice Simbula at Eagle News. We live in interesting times. Back to you, Ken.
Thanks, Mila. So have you been in a situation like what Secretary Levine mentioned, where you feel that you're exposing yourself to COVID-19? And, if so, how'd you react?
Yes, Ken, actually, just recently, I was in line to return an item to a store, and there was a lady behind me. I was in the line first, and then there was a lady behind me with a kid, and they were too close. They were too close to me, and so what I initially do is just try to look at them and see if they, they feel, because they're really close to me. Suppose there's already a sticker on the floor, but then they still, getting too close to me. So what I usually just look at them and see if they react. And if not, then I just move a little bit forward or move on the side, just to be at least 6 feet from them. And there was also some situation where people, like especially in the grocery store, sometimes they see their friends and they started having conversations. But what I'm really not comfortable with is, because they wanted to have conversation inside the store, they sometimes take out their masks so that they can speak freely, probably, or they can speak comfortably. And what I do is, just if I need to go to that place to grab an item, I'll just go around or go somewhere else until they leave that place. Ken?
Yeah, how long did it take you to adopt these distancing, mentalities? I mean, we've been quarantining for what, like 4 or 5 months now? How long did it take you to get adjusted to this?
Well, I know we initially did social distancing late March. So it took a couple of weeks for me, because I don't usually go to grocery store. I try to go to the store every 2 weeks. So it took me about 2 or 3 weeks for it to get into me that, how to do social distancing and things like that. And it usually happens anyway when you're on a line. So but I'm always concerned, let's say You need to pass by people who are talking to each other. That's the one, like, I really don't know the rules for that, but what I do is I just avoid that. I just avoid people who are having conversation, especially those who are not wearing masks. Ken?
Right. So it's one of the terms that we're going to hear for at least for the near future, right? I mean, it's the new normal. So this seems like it's going to be something that hopefully everyone continues to adopt. And if you're not adopting it, go back to adopting it, right?
That's correct, Ken.
Thank you so much, Mylon.
Thanks, Ken.
Texas extends its federal support to community testing sites through July the 31st, and the city of Houston helps residents beat the heat. In Houston, Eagle News correspondent Jessica Cedro has the story.
Thank you, Ken. And howdy from the Lone Star State. Here in Texas, Governor Greg Abbott announced that federal support to community testing sites in Houston and Dallas have been extended through July 31st, with medical staff from the Department of Defense currently in Houston. Governor Abbott said in the news release, "Our continued collaboration with our federal partners is essential in our efforts. The extension of this program in Dallas and Houston will help secure more testing for Texans in these communities. There are over 900 testing sites across the state of Texas, and I urge Texans in need of a test to find a site nearest them." He announced Monday that the U.S. Department of Defense has activated additional U.S. Army Urban Augmentation Medical Task Forces to assist the state in combating COVID-19, along with U.S. Navy teams being deployed to support medical needs in hospitals across the state. In Houston, Mayor Sylvester Turner posted on his Twitter Monday that he believes Houston needs a minimum 2 weeks shutdown. He stated, "I have proposed this to the governor so we can help blunt COVID-19 progression. If we cannot have a shutdown, then at least step back to state's phase 1. This will allow us to reset and reassess." Here are the latest numbers from the Harris County Public Health Department. Of the 47,369 confirmed cases, 32,559 are active with 466 fatalities and 14,344 recovered. Meanwhile, we shift gears now to the Texas summer heat. The city of Houston and Reliant have launched a program to help Houstonians stay cool in their homes. The 2020 Beat the Heat program helps Houston residents avoid summer heat while practicing social distancing by providing portable AC units, care packages, financial assistance, and energy efficiency information for much-needed summer relief for seniors and other vulnerable residents. Reliant and the City of Houston will also help open emergency cooling centers while ensuring proper social distancing measures are in place. Residents can sign up for Alert Houston notifications to be informed when emergency cooling centers are open. Mayor Turner stated, "The COVID-19 public health crisis has changed our lives, but it will not change the city's commitment to helping Houstonians during hot summer months." He added that staying home means also being able to stay cool in your own home. "I want to thank Reliant for being a great partner as we work together to provide for our communities." In Houston, Texas, I'm Jessica Isidro, Eagle News. We live in interesting times. Back to you, Ken.
Thanks, Jessica. So how is the weather there in Houston? I mean, usually around this time, it's absolutely insane, right? And knowing that it's, insane weather, what are ways to stay cool along with, practicing safety protocols?
Well, yeah, it's hot. But being in Houston, we have humidity, so it makes it feel even hotter. So when you walk out of the house, 5 seconds later, you're sweating. You're drenched in sweat. I would suggest, honestly, staying home because, Houston and Harris County is the highest. We have the highest number of cases in the state. So stay home, binge something on Netflix, play video games. Just stay away from other people.
Did I read that right, or did I hear that right? They're giving out free AC. Is that right?
Yeah, portable AC units.
Wow. That seems like something that I'd love to get. Is there like a sign up list, or is it something that you register online? Or is it something that they offer door to door? Do you know what the process is to get one of those?
I believe you need to sign up for it, or they're probably giving it to certain communities within the city that are more vulnerable.
And then some of these, what do they call it? The cool spots. I mean, is that just another term for the mall? I mean, I know my cousins in the Philippines, they go to the SMs, right, just to get cool. Is that the same thing, or is this like a whole separate venue?
I feel like it's a whole separate venue. If I'm correct, I believe it's like a covered area with like mist.
Interesting. All right, so it's like the ones that they have at Disneyland, Disney World, right? Where
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very curious to see how they would, execute that along with the social distancing. But I mean, we'd love some pictures if and when that time does come where that's available.
If I come across one, I'll send you one.
Thanks so much, Jessica. Have a good one. Stay cool. Trial COVID-19 vaccine shows progress in Seattle. Michael Hudson reports.
Thanks, Ken. I wanted to start off by sharing with you some great news as we continue to brave the storm when it comes to the pandemic. So the COVID-19 vaccine, which is currently being tested in Seattle, has shown a positive sign of working. The Moderna messenger RNA vaccine right now is deemed safe after passing phase 1 of the safety trials, so it will continue. The trials are being currently held at Kaiser Permanente Hospital, where volunteers were injected with 2 doses of the vaccine initially on March 16th and then developed antibodies comparable to someone who has had the disease already. It's still not 100% clear the vaccine works because it still has to pass through 2 more phases of the clinical trials, but it's without question going in the right direction. The lead author of the study is Lisa A. Jackson, MD, who noted, "The world has now witnessed the compression of 6 years of work into 6 months." So it's safe to say that a lot of hard and intense work has been done on the vaccine to further prepare it for the masses, considering this is the very first coronavirus vaccine being tested on humans. So with that being said, here are the current numbers when it comes to the COVID-19 in Washington state. Right now, the positive cases are at 41,757 and the deaths are at 1,400. And lastly, a quick sports update. The University of Washington Husky football team, who has been consistently ranked in the top 25 in the entire country within the last 5 years, has officially canceled their September 5th matchup against the Michigan Wolverines due to the pandemic. Many other teams in the NCAA has canceled their out-of-conference games to limit traveling for the players and so that they can continue to get tested as well. This was a highly anticipated matchup due to the fact that Michigan is one of the household names when it comes to college football. Reporting from Seattle, Washington, I'm Michael Hudson. We live in interesting times.
Thanks, Mike. LA County marks the highest number of new cases and hospitalizations in one day since the start of the pandemic. In Delano, Eagle News correspondent Julian Fiesta reports.
Thank you, Ken. Today, the Los Angeles County Public Health Department announces 4,244 new positive COVID-19 cases with 73 new deaths and 2,103 hospitalizations, marking the highest number of new cases and hospitalizations in one day since the start of the pandemic. Late in the evening yesterday, Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti tweeted, quote, "While the city of Los Angeles COVID-19 threat level remains at orange, we are very close to moving to red." Mayor Garcetti urged Angelenos to remain at home as much as possible and avoid any kinds of gatherings or visiting businesses unless necessary. This tweet of the Los Angeles mayor was made after the announcement of an expanded statewide mandate by California Governor Gavin Newsom. Restrictions were again ordered and imposed in an effort to help slow the transmission of COVID-19. This mandate calls for the closing of various indoor business operations statewide and additional indoor business operations in counties on the county monitoring list. Indoor operations that will be closed statewide are restaurant dine-ins, movie theaters, museums and zoos, card rooms, bars, family entertainment centers, and wineries. Additional indoor operations that will be closed for all counties on the county monitoring list are fitness centers, places of worship, personal care services, malls, hair salons, and offices from non-critical sectors. There are approximately 30 counties on the list, with Los Angeles County being one of them. For the past 2 weeks, the state of California, and primarily Los Angeles County, has seen a significant increase of confirmed cases. Angelenos are once again highly urged to do their part in helping stop the spread of this virus by wearing a mask when in public, maintaining physical distancing, washing their hands, and avoiding the 3 C's: crowds, confined spaces, and close contact. In Los Angeles County, the total number of confirmed cases in the county are 140,307, with 3,894 deaths, as announced today by the Los Angeles Public Health Department. Meanwhile, the state of California now has a total of 336,508 confirmed COVID-19 cases and 7,087 deaths, as recorded by the California Department of Public Health. In Delano, California, Julian Fiesta, Eagle News. We live in interesting times. Back to you, Ken.
Thanks, Julian. So of the 30 counties on the Californians watch list, which one ranks the highest out of for the COVID-19 cases and deaths?
So as you probably guessed, Ken, it's Los Angeles, which takes the lion's share of the daily coronavirus numbers. One of the contributing factors for this is LA's densely populated neighborhoods and the high population. Currently, Los Angeles County has more than half of the reported COVID-19 deaths in the state.
Interesting. So is Delano where you're living in Fresno, LA County, or somewhere in between?
We're actually in Kern County, which interestingly enough is not on the county monitoring list, but I think we're still on the watch, trying to stay safe and things like that.
So that means hair salons, movie theaters, gyms are still open for you guys?
Our one movie theater is actually still closed as of right now, but there are some hair salons I think still open. We definitely have our 2 gyms that are open as well.
Well, just in case, maybe you might need to get your workouts and your haircuts in before everything closes again, right?
Probably just gonna stay home, stay safe, do our at-home workouts, try to see if I can cut my hair myself.
Great answer. There's an answer for everything, and that's YouTube. So there you have it. Thank you so much, Julian. Stay safe.
Thank you. You too.
When we come back, we'll talk about some appealing online courses. We'll return in a moment. This is Eagle News America.
Hindi mo ba alam, mauubos daw ang mga tissue products? Bakit naman? Ang raw materials daw ng mask at tissue products ay iisa lang. Saan naman galing ang balitang yan? Ay basta, narinig ko lang din. Maraming din kayang nagpo-post sa Facebook at Twitter, kaya kung ako sa'yo, kumuha ka na din. Sige na't mauna na ako sa'yo
Huwag basta-basta magpaniwala
sa mga nakikita
o nababasa sa social media.
Magsaliksik at i-verify ang lahat ng impormasyon
Nakukuha sa internet.
Tandaan,
maging responsable tayo
sa paggamit ng social media
nang hindi magdulot ng panik sa iba.
Kung paanong dapat labanan ng COVID-19
ay gayon din ang ating pagsugpo
sa black propaganda at maling impormasyon.
Dennis Lu,
Lou Amelda,
General Partosa,
Tyranel Pililu,
Hannibal Arevalo,
EBC
Japan Bureau. We live in interesting times.
Welcome back. You're watching Eagle News America. I'm Ken Cruz in Fort Washington. With the current spike of COVID-19 cases across the U.S., despite the appeals of some parents and educators to reopen classrooms, it seems like distance learning or online classes are here to stay, at least for the foreseeable future. So, Eagle News team, we know you may not be in high school nor in college anymore, but if you had your choice to take any online class, what would it be? Let's start with DJ.
For me, I don't think I would do anything educational per se. I think I would lean more towards like the extracurricular. If I didn't have to pay, now I'm getting really creative, right? If we didn't have to pay, I would try and have an online course of golf swinging lessons with Tiger Woods or Rory McIlroy. Because honestly, when I see those guys swing, it's just like I don't understand because I'm still not comfortable with my golf swing.
Right. I mean, if we can get like maybe 20% of their swing, like that would probably make lifetimes, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So that type of online course is something I would definitely be interested in taking.
Awesome. Great suggestion. How about you, Aaron?
So I'm actually going to college in the fall, and some courses that I want to take that I couldn't fit into my schedule include this history class on East Asian civilizations. It's a bit nerdy, but I heard that the teacher was great, and there was a lot of even though it was the course is now offered only online, there was a lot of interaction between student and teachers, so I thought that was pretty cool.
I don't know if I'm aging myself, but did they still have Rate My Professor available?
Yeah, they do.
Awesome. I'll actually have to check that out. I mean, it was in its early stages when I went to college, but I mean, it was a huge help because it helped you take the classes you wanted to take, and the professors you wanted to take, and avoid the ones that like were a little on the crazy side, right? So, pro tip for those that are looking to look at classes, check out the professors first. Thanks, Aaron. How about you, man?
Well, Ken, this is a very timely topic. Actually, I just registered this morning with the Church of Crisis or Christian Family Organization's free online courses. It's called the Sebsi Academy Online, and they are offering free online courses in blogging, music, photography, online content creation, etc. I am very interested in photography, Ken, because my husband has all of these equipment that we don't really use much, and I have a baby that I would like to, just document while he's growing. So I am very much interested in photography, and I just registered again this morning.
Perfect. Well, it looks like you were proactive, and we look forward to seeing some great pictures behind you. Thanks, man. How about you, Mila?
I can. So I would love to be trained on how to cut hairs. Because I have, yes, I already have a pair of clippers, but I still don't know how to use it. I had it for a while now. I have those scissors, good scissors that I bought a long time ago, but I tried using it. Actually, I tried using it for my youngest son, and those clippers, man, I didn't know how to use. I should have read the manual before using it, because instead of cutting it really, really lightly, I cut it really short, and my son did not like it. Yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, I jumped on that bandwagon early. I looked at a lot of YouTube videos myself, and I cut my own hair every week. Also, if you look at Aaron, I cut his hair last time, so I went from zero experience to at least weekly experience. I mean, it's passable at least for our, WebEx, Zoom, and Jitsi calls. Thanks, Milo. Well, I mean, if you need any YouTube videos, just message me and I'll send you some good fade ones.
Definitely, yes. Thanks, Ken.
How about you, Jessica? What are you looking forward to learning?
Underwater basket weaving.
Wow.
I'm actually in grad school right now. So I actually do want to do something not educational because I'm tired of doing school stuff right now. Probably I want to hone in on my baking because it's been a while since I baked anything. Either that or I actually want to teach a calligraphy course.
Interesting.
Been asking me.
I will enroll.
Do you have any work that is easily accessible, Jessica, that we can...
This is Jessica. I will enroll.
I have something. I do have something.
If you're looking around, we'll go to Juliana real quick and then show us after. Yeah.
Jeez, you make me sound boring.
Juliana, what do you got?
Okay, so I've actually taken some online courses already. And I've taken a bioethics course because I just actually graduated in biology. So I'm just trying to keep my mind sharp, trying to stay educated on other things. But on the more fun side, I've taken a couple dancing classes and I'm trying to learn how to play the guitar and the piano just to try to become more well-rounded.
I mean, those are great things to take at this time, especially when they're readily available. All right, Jessica, do you have that picture?
I'm pulling it up. Okay, so I do digital and I do physical art.
Yes, please.
Okay, hold on.
We might need to set up an Eagle News calligraphy class hosted by yourself.
Okay, so this is my bullet journal from last year.
Oh, beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, those are very IG style fonts.
It's very nice.
I've been trying to make stickers, so I have a Hamilton inspired one here.
Yes.
Oh my god, I love that.
And that you have perfectly segued into what I would love to take, and that is a Hamilton class. So there's one available on outschool.com. It's Hamilton the Musical, a discussion of the pop culture hit. 6 weeks, one course a week. Unfortunately, it's $90, and also it's age range from 11 to 16. But they say,
oh no, it's not free.
I mean, it's 5 stars as far as it's rated. So I mean, I'm very tempted. You know, they evaluate and analyze the songs, the characters. You know, wait for it. I mean, I am like watching a bunch of YouTube videos already on analysis, and I would love to just take a class. I mean, this is something that you know. The household here has watched probably at least 20 times already since its release, and that's amazing. But yeah, well, guys, appreciate your your suggestions, and we're serious, Jessica. If you'd like to host a class, we will all take that.
Gotcha.
Awesome, perfect. Well, let's continue to thank our frontline and essential workers with a round of applause. We appreciate you. And that's it for today's Eagle News America. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Ken Cruz. We live in interesting times.
Hello, my name is Robin, and I'm 5 years old. My mom and dad said many people are getting sick. That is why we have to stay at home. That is why I cannot go to school. I cannot play outside